What's going on, everybody? It's Tuesday. We'll get this started here in a moment. Yep, there you go. Good girl, aren't you? All right, all right.
Sent your cousin's bench top trash. We talk about Danny 1, 2, 3. He decided a wizard, torch in hand, steady as truth. Tuning HGs like a surgeon, tight, clean, no loose juice. Forget that fluff from Johnny up the street. If you want true watts, Bird has certified, not cheap. Linear amps built like tanks, precision tune. He craft them like art, man, no Pete Watts balloon. One bird hash mark at a time. It climbed till that needle danced like it's caught in the grime. This South Jersey legend ain't selling sparkle. He's selling signal, pure, raw, and darker. So when you tired of lies, tired of peaks, call Danny 1, 2, 3, where real wattage speaks.
What's going on, everybody? It's Tuesday. Got this unit done and turned out really good.
Danny 1, 2, 3.
Go ahead and open this thing up here for you.
No tweak or watts, just truth.
So what's going on? We got 11 Facebookers, 2 YouTubers in there. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 123 South Jersey Talk Show. There's Molly down there hanging out. Hi, Molly. You say hi. Hello. How are you? All right, so this is a South Jersey, this is a standard build here. Hold on a minute.
Yeah. South Jersey don't play.
All right, so this is what I call my standard build. This has 4 106 CFM fans in there with a filter on the outside for the air coming in, and the voltage side of it as well. There's a filter board in there. I've been incorporating those for quite a few years and really helps out. Standard paint job in this unit, 1/4 transformers, standard 2879's in here. Now, with this 2879 standards versus the C's, you got to watch your drive on them. The C's are a little bit more forgiving. What's going on, James? How are you? James Gold, Mohawk Valley, New York. Doing your thing up there. So, what I'm getting at is the C's are still really good transistors, and a lot of people hadn't been buying them just because they're getting a pretty good discount on this box here. And yeah, realistically, they do about the same amount of power if you only have X amount of voltage and X amount of drive. So if you did have a 2879C box and you went and compared it to apples to apples, oranges to oranges to the 2879 standard, it's not the same. The 2879C will put out more power. Yes, they do require a little bit more drive, not lots, but a little bit more because you have 2 more chips inside. So it's like an extra 25 watts transistor that you would see with the 2879Cs. So with that said, standard circuit here, and we're gonna take and fire it up. I have 4 6-gauge wires coming out the back of this unit. Yes, they are black, and you can see it's a fun fit just trying to get it in that cup, and the only reason why I put that there is for my wedge so it wouldn't separate the wires much. But quite a bit of wires. 3/8 ground bolt on here, and there you go. Hung the doorknob, the tuning capacitor on the back wall. I kind of like that idea. I've been doing it, and you know, it don't really matter if it's a big box or a small box. It just wants to see that capacitance there, whatever it may be. So let's we're going to do a couple different tests tonight. We're going to take and run the Texas Star into this, and I'm going to show you obviously the low side, and we're going to bring up to the high side and get all we can out of it at 14.8 volts. Then I'll step the voltage up to about 3/4 of a volt more, and then after all of that's said and done, I'm going to take and I'll put a little bit more drive in it. Now this does say 5-pil 2290, but I disconnected the driver stage in here. We're going to use it as a straight 4-transistor unit, so it'll give me quite a bit more peak, and we're going to look at that because peak really is not what eats up these boxes. The RMS drive you fill. So as we get into the math on how much drive do you put in these transistors, well, these standard transistors, I really like to say don't really go too far out of bounds of 18.75 or almost 19 watts per transistor, because at 20 you're going to start cooking some parts and you're going to probably blow your box up. Now that's 20 watts RMS, or average power. RMS is true power of drive per transistor. So that's at 20 watts, you're into overdrive with the standard. So the 2879's, yeah, they can take a bit more than that. But it don't mean if you guys got to have an excessive amount of drive to get your equipment to go, you don't need a 2x4 ever. You never did need one to drive into a 16-pil. I hear this quite a bit. Guys like, I said, what are you going to run? And he goes, well, I got a 2x4 driving into my 16. I'm like, oh my gosh. This was a recent story. I ain't going to give the poor guy up. But anyway, when I said and done, and I got done with his box, all he truly needed was about 150 to 200 watts. The same thing as what I'm going to show right here in this box running. And he'll probably watch this video, and because I told him to keep his eyes open because I got this one coming up. So they give him a little instruction on where he's at and physically be able to see a little bit more drive, which I couldn't provide for him when I did his unit. So, all right, let me put some skins on this thing and let it rip here. All right, let's see this thing light up. Okay. All right, so we're going to run the R&R Cobra 29, and we're going to have it a little bit elevated over to what the original tune was. I think it was about 14.3, but that's all good. All right, input reflection slug, we're going to look at a 25 watt slug here, and then 250 watt drive slug, and it's all going to come off Texas Star, which we're going to run on a low side. I'm not even going to go at the 50. We'll keep this test together. So we're going to drive this thing right about 100 watts to start off with. Now going back over to here, we're going to look at pretty much focus on this 5,000 watt slug here on the digital Dave, just because the peak's going to exceed the 2,500 watt. It's over on the left, so I'm not going to bother with that one. Look at 2,500 RMS and 5,000 RMS and peak if that meter works. I noticed I left the light on. I left it on for I don't know how long ago. So let's take a look at my drive. Let's just take a peek here, and we're at Texas Star wide open, 250 watt slug, and I need to put a clamp down here. Do I have one? No. All right, so I got to put a clamp on here. All right, each line's 5 watts. Audio, audio, drive, 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 audio, audio, audio. So I'm just cruising right on through the amp. Audio 1, 2, 3, 4. She's moving along, just showing all the meters are moving, and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. And here we go on the peaker tweaker there. So that's showing me right around 450 on that one. Let me try this here since it's a bigger slug. Let's go to 2,500. Okay. All right, peaker tweaker, 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 tweaker. All right, 275. 275, 300, right in that area. What's going on, Ray? How are you? So now we know we're going to put about this much drive into this unit, and we're going to be hanging out right around 14.8 or so. Let's just take a peek at this. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'm about 13, 15 amps and 14.9 on the driver. That's going to drop down when I kick this on and start running. Set a carrier here real quick. Let me set this back over here to 5,000 mode. And we'll kick it down to the RMS. Set a carrier, might gain there, cool. Alright, got a little bit of a carrier. Alright, so let's take and see what drive is happening here as it works and gets going into this box. Alright, now let's take a little peek here. Audio, 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 audio. Hanging out right around the 100 mark. Let's see what the inputs are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, audio 1, 2. So watt, watt and a half. Now let's look at 2,500. Now remember, this is a pause moment for me. Hang on, I'll be right back. bright lights, as the gremlins say. It was so bright in here I couldn't see when I lifted my head. I didn't have my hat on. So, and I have a sun shield. All right, 2,500 watt slug. This is 100 watts of drive or so, RMS. And it's at 14, 7, or 8. Let's see. Audio, 2,500 watt slug. Audio. We're hanging out, it looks like right around 12 or so, 1150, 12. Audio, RMS, audio. There's RMS. Let's take a look at our voltage and amperage, and this is with the Texas Star. Audio, 1, 2, 3, 4, audio. So she's eating really good, about 168 amps with both units running. Now, let's look at this 5 kilowatt here. Each line's 100 watts. Center scale, audio, 100 watts of drive, audio. So safe to say we're all in the same ballpark as far as this goes. That was on reflection. Okay, that's correct. 5,000 watt slug. Yes. All right, here we go. This is a picker tweaker moment. Peeking in and tweaking in and tweaking in and tweaking in and peeking. All right, so we're making 2,500 watts with 100 watts of drive. Truly, you could go out there and have a really good time. If you're one of those guys that are super conservative, this would be a pretty good option for you. So we're at 100 watts in a 16 transistor. You pull 2,500 watts out at 14.7. But if we increase the drive level, let's see where we're at. And here's the drive high side, audio. So we're right around 140, 145 or so, making across that bypass. Let's see where we're at if we're running. All right, here we go, running drive wattage, actual wattage the amplifier sees. Audio. So we're right around 130 watts of drive level is what that amplifier can see. Well, what happened to my peak on that one? We'll take and go back over to here, and we'll go picker tweaker driver, audio picker tweaker driver. So we're doing 350 watts of drive now as far as peak goes. Now, here's the thing, the RMS will hurt the amplifier. So in the same sense as we'll do a little bit of math early, real quick. And we'll say we just had 100 watts of drive. We drove that into each transistor 16 times. So we were only hitting those transistors at 6.25 watts per transistor. They barely are idling at that point. Now, we're going to take and increase that, and we're going to see what this is actually running real quick. Working drive, audio. So we're hanging out right around 130, 135. So we'll say we're at 135 now, and divide that at 16. So now we're only at 8.4 watts per transistor. Have a lot of headroom. A lot. So when you get at maximum drive, you say, this is all I have, a 2-pill. It does 350 watts peak. Kind of funny that number's there, right? All right, 350 watts peak, but it can only produce around 130, 135 watts of drive in RMS. So I have more ways to fill up the RMS. Can't really do it anymore with the system. But if you take in, let's gather everything real quick. One thing I'm forgetting here, killing me. Make this work. Give me a click, see if it works. Audio. Okay. All right. So now let's look at the amperage right in the back of the amplifier with full drive of where I'm at, and we'll look at all the rest of the numbers. Audio. So we're 188 amps at this voltage. Audio, 14.7. That brings my peaker tweaker number to here. Peaker tweaker, audio. So I'm making 2,600 watts peak. All right, really cool. Audio, peaker tweaker, RMS. 1150, 1200 on that meter. Now if I go up here and let's look at 2,500 watt meter. Audio. All the meters are not the same, but I'm hitting right at that 1,600. Audio, real close on that one as well. Now, if I go to 2,500 here, audio. They're not all the same, it's a reference to me, but at the end of the day, that's all we can get out of the drive. What is it, Garen? Mr. Wilson? I will show you that because I'm fitting and taking hook up the other box. So as I set my camera down, I am going to take and produce more RMS power. Not a lot, a little bit. and more peak power. So let's just see where that brings me. All right, we'll cut this one off. We'll hook this one up. And we'll do that. I didn't change the voltage over, but that's all right. I can still kind of mock this up. All right, so real quick, I want to get over to phase angles. So I'm running a half a wavelength of coax out of the back of my Cobra 29 down to my driver. Half a wavelength of coax there. So coming out of this driver, I'm running a quarter wavelength into the 16. Then another half wavelength off to my dummy load. So your phase angle from your radio is going to be a half wavelength to your driver, and then typically it's going to be 6 or a quarter wave. I shouldn't have said 6 unless you're running 213, or a quarter wave from your driver to the 16. So half wave, quarter wave. That's the coax phase angles, and then another half a wave coming out to your meter assembly, or your antenna will plug in directly to a line section that's hanging on the back. You won't need that piece of coax. All right, so let's move on up here. Let's take a look at this driver now. This is the 4 transistor 2290's. Audio. All right, so don't get much of a carrier. All right, let's just take a peek here and see what we have. All right, here we go. Input drive level. Now this is just a reference here on 250 watt slug. We're pulling out right around 140, I think, before 135, 140. Audio. So now we're like 190, 180, 190, 200. All right, that's cool. Let's take a look at the digital real quick. RMS, audio 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right, so we made the grade there at 200 watts of drive. Now, Mr. Wilson asked me if my increase of peak power, can you put 400 in it? Yes, you can. Audio 1 2, audio 1 2. In fact, we're going to do 500. All right, that should please you. So it's not going to hurt the unit. It's 16 transistors. They can take the drive. We have plenty of working room yet. See, here's where we left off on our pill number. Let's take and rewind. Knowingly, we're going to be about 200. Let's give that a ring. Yeah, 200. Divide that in 16. Now you're at 12.5 watts per transistor. Now you're filling it up a little bit. Now you're getting up there where the box really starts to come to life. It wakes up. It's more responsive. And keep this in mind. If it's making more power and even lower power coming out, your reflection coming back to your antenna, off your antenna coming back to your box. If you have all your coax phase angles correct, now your biggest enemy is going to be your reflect coming off of your antenna, your SWR. That's the stuff that tears boxes up and eats the gain right out from the roots. So keep your standard waves down 1.0, 1.1, 1.2. Yeah, it makes me cringe a little bit, but guys get away with it. But eventually their boxes will just give up on them. High standard wave kills everything. We all know it. So does heat. So now we're going to take a look at my working drive. A little carrier up here. A little too much. All right, that'll work. All right, here's working drive level. All right, this is 4 2290's working into the 16 HG-2879's standards. Audio. So 180, 200, we're still there. Input reflect audio 1 2 3 4. Still nice and low, 1.5 watts, under 2. And then we're looking at 2500 watt slug. Here we go. Audio. So 15, 16, easy 15, 16. Here's a 5 kilowatt slug. That was the 2500. Audio. So they're hanging out 15. And let's see here in RMS on the forward one, and we'll look at the RMS one. Forward, which is 2500 here. Audio. 1475 there. And then let's see what the 5 kilowatt is. Audio. 15, 50. Now, here's the peak and tweaker. Tweaking and a peaking and a peaking and a tweaking. 2950. All Alright, let's see what it says up on this one. We got one more step after this. Audio, tweaker. Doing really good. I guess the batteries are still good. Alright, so one more move to make on this. Now the only way we're going to increase anything is what? By increasing my voltage. It makes sense, right? Let's do that. Alright, now we're gonna increase. Dang, I missed another step. I should have looked at the amperage when I was down there at 14 volts. So now I can dive back to it, I suppose. Alright, so moving forward. The only way we're going to increase power is what? By taking and increasing my voltage. Now we're over here and we're going to be about 15 something or another. Let's take a look. Whoa, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 15, 6 or so. Let's look at the amperage. Audio. Oh, they keep getting it there. 195. They start making really good power at 200 amps. So, like I said, I'm still underdriving this a bit. Audio. About 210 there, it said. Take a look. 2, 1, 0. Yep, 16 times. So now we're at 13.125 watts. That's cool. Input. Audio. Now they went up a little bit, about 3.5. And here's 2500. Audio. Wow, we're making some numbers there. That looks like 1750 or so. Audio 5000. Audio. Same thing there. Let's look at the speaker tweaker. 5 kilowatt slug. Shows about 4 kilowatts there. Let's see what this one says on. That's the correct one, yes. Audio, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3150. So, at the end of the end, she's a hollering. And it's got a lot of headroom. I mean, it's still got a breathing room on this. Now, yeah, we noticed that the input reflection did go up between Texas Star and the 42290's. That may not be the best match. I was just trying to get some numbers a little bit more than what I had here on the bench to make this unit work. Because in the past, I used to take and go out to my truck, take Psycho Zip, take my my Psycho Zip driver 5-fill out of my truck and hook it up in here and run these boxes. And I had to slow the box way down to take and control everything. And so I figured, hey, I just give you a little bit more drive. There's 42290's driving 16, so if you got this combination, yeah, I'm sure it'd work out fine for you. And actually, it's a combination that works out really nice. So I think I built one for a guy in Hawaii for driving 16. It was in a 32-pill chassis. That was a smooth running box. I really like that box. It was the first one I did. Went out to a good home out there in Hawaii. All right, so let's see here. Where was I? All right, let's take a look at. I'm gonna run this voltage test real quick and an amperage test. Let's take a look where we're at on a full pull and what we have here running. Now let's look at the amperage right here. We'll look at the voltage and the peak. Audio. So 190, 192. All right, I'm pulling at this voltage. Audio. 15.6. Now my peak. Let's look at this one first. Audio. Now it's showing me 32. Let's see what this one's showing me. 5 kilowatt slug. Audio. Right about 3,000 touch over it. So that's at 15.6 volts. Now, same simple test. Let's switch voltage. And we'll rerun the test. Alright. So now we switch voltages. We're going to rerun the test. And this is about 3/4 of a volt less. So here's your amperage. We were running about 191 before. Audio. So we automatically lost a lot of amperage. So it tells you what's going to happen. You're going to lose a lot of wattage. Now your peak not so much, but your RMS and your filler ain't going to be there because you just don't have the juice to get it to go. We're still at the same drive level. Audio. See, 180. It actually backed up. it didn't back up. It actually did less, because when I have more voltage, we're hanging out around more over 2, where now we're way a little bit under 2. So let's look at 2500 watt slug. Audio. Yeah, I'm still making 1600 with it. Let's see what the peak said. This was here a little about 3000 before. Audio. So we lost a few hundred watts on the peak. And here's the peaker tweaker, digital. So yeah, 100, 200 watts on the peak as far as that goes, and about the same difference as far as the RMS went. So at the end, it's all of what you really want to do. And if you really want to drive your stuff hard, go ahead. You're going to be a race car in DX. You're going to be sitting in the pits real quick trying to cool that thing off, or you just won't care and you'll melt it all the way down. If you're talking that much DX, or local talking, as far as that matter goes. But as far as keeping these things alive, I'm really giving you guys really prime numbers here, and it all falls down to the numbers you plug into that calculator. I get calls quite a bit about how much can I drive into this, or what can I drive into that. It's not the peak that tears this stuff up. It's the RMS, or the filler, that tears everything up. Isn't that right, Molly? What you doing, sweetie? You're just sitting here chilling out. Come here, Linda. Come here. You gonna wave? Hi, how are you? You gonna talk? What's happening? What's going on with you? Really? Did you go outside today? It was really nice, wasn't it? Yeah? Yeah? Did you see a raccoon? No? A possum? Did you see a possum? Was it big? It looked like a big rat. Yeah? Yeah? Alright. What are you going to do for this? You going to wave? Which one? Okay. Good girl. So you're doing pretty good, huh? Everybody, I had somebody ask me, they said, man, it looks like Molly's getting fat. And actually, she didn't. She gained weight, yes. I had her on a diet, one of those freeze-dried food diets. Oh, it's so healthy for your dog. Yeah, it's healthy. It made her fat. So we're kind of doing what we did before, and it's working, right? Huh? Is it working? Say thanks, Steve George, for my bacon bits. Yeah? What you gonna do for this one? Huh? What you got going on? Huh? You gonna wave? Molly, you gonna wave? Well, are you gonna wave for this? You gotta wave. Come on. All right, there you go. So, what you think? What you know? You ready? You gonna say hey, you gonna say goodbye? See you later. Thanks for watching. It was great. Yeah? All right. Gee whiz. So, anyway you want to cut it, guys, you guys can run your stuff however you choose, or run it the way the builder told you to run it. He may be wrong, he may be right. Hopefully he's right. But if you're guys are looking for a nice stout box, built well, thought about, I've been out here, I don't know, 30 years. So there you go, probably a little bit more. I'm going to slide out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. We just ran this thing up and turned out really nice. So I'm sure the guys get it. You're going to enjoy it. So remember, jumper length, looking at a half a wavelength out of the radio to your driver, and then a quarter wavelength from the driver to the back of this unit. And yes, the power wires are black. This is your ground right here. So that said, everything is juiced on the inside, so you won't have no corrosion issues of that nature on grounds on the inside of this amplifier or the connections of it. So I highly suggest when you guys hook your stuff up, put a little dielectric grease, ox guard grease on your connection points. In the mobile, it won't hurt in the house, especially if you're around a salty environment. It's in the air, it'll corrode. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. God bless. Adam, I'll hit you up. I'll catch you all later. Slide to the left.